Boom! What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's Thursday, the day before the All-Star break, man. Everybody ready for vacation. We're trying to get some cash, though. It's 3 games here, Ronald. 3 good games. We're going to deep dive them here. We got our guy, Ronald Cabang, at UCapper Sports on Twitter, guys. Man, y'all go follow him right now. He has a show on YouTube, all that good stuff. A sports memo, all that good. This is my guy right here. What's up with you, Ronald?
Chilling, man. Yesterday, tough day in college basketball. NBA was fine. I think I was just tweeting it out this morning. Like I can't seem to get both of them going at the same time. It's either I'm doing well in NBA and struggling in college, and then doing well in college and struggling in NBA. But right now, NBA is looking pretty solid. Over at sportsmemo.com, dude, number one on the leaderboard since the start of the calendar year. So can't complain right now.
Nah, that's a fact right there, man. No complaints out of me as well, man. Y'all make sure y'all go holler at my guy Ronald on Twitter, on YouTube, on Sports Memo, all that good stuff, man. He got a shirt. You see the shirt in the background as well, man. You can hit him up for those shirts as well, man. Y'all know how we do it though. It's all business here on the show. It's Us Against the Bookies, man. We're trying to get some cash. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Couldn't talk you off becoming a member as well, the channel, man. But first game up here, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Chicago where we have the Bulls getting 7 points at the house versus the Bucks here, Ronald. This line opened up at I believe it opened at 7, got up to 8, 8.5 at some spots, now down to 7, even 6.5 at some of the sharper books out there,
Yeah.
Ronald. How you looking? I know we were talking before the show, my brother. How you looking at this game, my guy?
Yeah, I'm actually looking. I know it's a ugly play, but I do like the Bulls in this spot here. I did take it this morning before the show. It was plus 8.5, and then Middleton got announced out, and now I'm seeing 6.5 and some sevens, like you mentioned. But I think obviously the Bucks are in a good spot here. As far as like momentum, right? They're on an 11 game winning streak. The one thing though, they are coming off an OT win over the Celtics. That's sort of like an emotional win right there. They've been on the road consistently in the last couple of weeks here. They were on the road. It's a road game right now, following a home game, and then they had 3 games before that, so they've had to travel consistently.
Mhm.
On the opposite side here, the Bulls, it seems like they're going on a downward slope. 5 straight losses and non-covers, including that meltdown yesterday. Obviously, was a big one. Good for you. You had the Pacers um, second leg of back-to-back road to home games. Bad travel spot for them as well. But for the most part, when I'm looking at these trends, and from a matchup perspective, right, the Bulls have won and covered both matchups so far this season. You would think that there would be some revenge type of angle there, but the Bulls seem to do well against teams that they've already beat so far this season. 8-5 against the spread in those spots, 10-3 to the under. They've held their opponents under their team total in 11 of those 13 games. So it seems like they do well against teams that they face. It's just maybe a matchup thing for them. For the most part, they're only allowing 112.7 points per game if they're the dog in that situation as well. Some other things to back them: 14-6-2 against the spread as dogs versus conference opponents. In those games, in those 22 games, the Bulls have lost by 8 or more points just 5 times. And like I said earlier, the line was at 7, 7.5, 8. So we're at that threshold where they're really not able to, they're not losing by margin from that aspect. The Bucks on the other side, coming off that OT game, right? This is where things got really tricky for me because obviously from first look, you're like, oh, the Bulls are a playoff team, right? Especially on this game, but the Bucks coming off an OT game, they're 1-2 straight up and against the spread, 2-1 to the over. They allowed their opponents to go over their team total in each of those games, allowing 121 points per game. The and think about this is the crazy part. The two teams that they lost to in those spots, Spurs and the Hornets. You know what I mean? So this is a situation where the Bulls, I wouldn't say is out of the question to win outright. The one game against the Spurs, it does make sense because nobody played. But the one against the Hornets where they got smashed by like 30 points, Giannis and Drew, they were both in that lineup. Both losses, both of those games that were losses in after OT, those were after OT wins. So similar situations for me. Everything really pointing towards the Bulls side here, plus the points. I would also look towards the Bucks team total under. They might not be focused here.
Yeah, the only problem is, Ronald, the Hornets and the Spurs are two of the worst teams in the league. The Bucks aren't going to take those teams serious in this one, man. They're going to take the Bulls serious. This is a conference opponent as well, and you have double revenge versus them. I guarantee you they didn't have double revenge versus the Spurs or the Hornets in that one. The Bucks, man, check, it's a crazy stat. They're 66-1 against the spread in games that they win outright when playing with same season revenge. So usually when the Bucks do win these games, they win in the blowout. 66-1, man. That's an absolute crazy stat there, in my opinion. And they're also 13-2 against the spread in their last 13-2 straight up, and against the spread in their last 15 games in Chicago here, man. So I'll be honest, I didn't bet this game, but the Bucks are absolutely white hot right now. They've won 11 straight games, so I know for a fact I don't want to fade a team that's won 11 straight games, simply put, right there. But then you throw in the fact they have double revenge. Earlier this year, the Bulls were playing a lot better basketball. They're not right now, guys. I mean, maybe if DeRozan plays in this game or something, maybe they'll have a chance. But I want no parts of the Bulls right now. You see what happened yesterday. They get up 24 points, 23 in the first quarter, guys. I'm like, damn. But I know that the game isn't over, though. People start trolling on Twitter, all that. I'm like, guys, it's only in the first quarter. This game is not over. Before you know it, what happens? The Pacers slowly but surely coming back. And guess what? As a basketball player, when you let go of a game like that, it's a total down spot. Now the Bulls were already down on themselves. Now they're even more down. I mean, we can't even get up 24 in a game. And this is the second straight time that they blew a 20-point lead versus the Pacers as well. I want no parts of the Bulls. I'll be honest with you, Ronald. They can be playing the Charlotte Hornets or something today. I will not be betting on the Bulls anytime soon. I don't like the team morale of the overall team. And I feel like DeRozan, if he might just be like, you know what, I don't even care to play today. Give me a little extra time to rest here, man. So like I say, like I mean, I don't want to talk you off your play, Ronald, but I know me personally, I'm only looking towards the Bulls here, especially red hot, and the fact that they have double revenge here is just the icing on the cake. I think the Bucks are the right side here, but more than that, I wouldn't go anywhere near the Bulls. I think they have some other shit going on in the locker room right now, and yesterday's loss only makes it worse, in my opinion. It only intensifies the team morale going down, in my opinion, Ronald.
Yeah, one more thing to add here too. I mean, the reason why I also like the Bucks team total under is a lot of people focus on their side of the ball, right? Because they're like you said, they're on a winning streak. Their defensive rating is really well, but the Bulls, low key, they're third in defensive rating the last 5 and 10 games. So they're doing their part on the defensive side of the ball. Just offensively, they're not clicking because the shit that's going on right now. You know what I mean? So I understand why you would be on the Bucks here, but a lot of things to me just pointing towards the Bulls. Obviously we can always go back and forth and see where the support can go. Today, I mean, I'm telling you right now, like a lot of the times when everyone's like, all right, Bulls are on the hell no list, that's when you start to hop on people on those teams. And I think this might be that spot here.
No, that's a fact right there. Yeah, it's not some I'm betting, guys, but Bucks -7, heavy lean for me, and I lean the team total over as well. The Bulls have been playing great defense, but their offense is dead last in the league, guys, over the last 5 or 6 games in this one, man. So I'll be honest, I still can't believe that they lost that game yesterday, man. That's an absolute. I don't know about the mental right now for that team, man. I lean Bucks -7, guys. Set up here to the next game, guys. Go over here to the streets of Minnesota. Here we got the Wolves laying 2.5 to 3 points. There's a couple 2.5s out there, but it's mainly threes out there in the market. But if you like 3, you can get -105 in this one. Wizards been hot in this one, Ronald. Wizards kind of sort of been hot. Do you think they could keep it going here today?
Yeah, I mean, they like you said, they're pretty high right now. One and covered 3 of their last 4 games, but they've been traveling a lot here. Third straight road game, third game in 4 nights as well. Even though they didn't play yesterday, they still third game in 4 nights there. Wolves, they're the more rested team, even though they're coming off of a first home game after 4 straight road games. They've given up 6 straight overs as well. So that's one way that I was looking at it. Was towards the over. From a matchup perspective, we know the Wizards won and covered that first match of the season by margin, by 14 points, double digit win there as just 1 point favorites at home. I think some of the situations that we look at as far as like revenge angles, we talked about it a lot. I mean, in recent shows too, like some teams, they do well in revenge angles, some teams don't, right? Timberwolves, there are one of those teams that do well, 12-4 straight up, 11-5 ATS, 10-6 to the over if you include, and in those revenge angles, those in-season revenge spots, if you include that they're playing at home, they're 7-1 straight up, 6-2 ATS, averaging 121.1 per game, allowing just 112.6. So, and then, oh yeah, one more thing. But another reason why I like the over as well, if you add to that revenge angle at home, if they're favored, they're 5-0 to the over. They're scoring 125.6 per game themselves. So I could look towards the Wolves here. I could look towards maybe the team total over for the Wolves as well, depending on how much you trust the Wizards to put up their points or not. But Wizards in non-conference games as road dogs of 5 points or less, they have not won a game in that spot. Only 1-3 against the spread. They don't. The one game that they covered was by a single point. Wizards also just not as far as like the over side. They're 8-2-1 to the over versus teams they already beat so far this season. So that the opposite of a revenge basically. If you add that they're on the road 1-5 straight up, 2-4 ATS, 4-1-1 to the over. A lot of things to me, Jay, just pointing towards the Wolves here and towards the over.
No, that's a fact right there, man. I guess in theory, everything's not pointing to the Wolves because the Wizards have won 6 straight games and covered 6 straight versus the Wolves in this one, Ronald. But what I kind of like to tell people, like a lot of those were different. So it started in 2019, totally different. Both teams are totally different. Obviously, the Wolves were nowhere near as good. I believe that was when the Wizards had Russell Westbrook and the guys over there. But regards to that, they have won 6 straight. But I want to go to this season because the Wolves did get absolutely smacked up, guys. They gave up 142 points to this Wizards team. But when you really look at it, there was a horrible schedule spot for the Wolves in that game. I can't believe the NBA did them like that, man. They went to Charlotte, then they came home and played the Warriors. They got smacked up by the Warriors and then immediately back to back, third game in 4 nights, they had to travel from home from Minnesota all the way over to Washington D.C. as well, man. After a late night game, there was a horrible schedule spot. It was basically like a scheduled loss for the Wolves in that game. They were never in it, got absolutely smoked. Anthony Edwards did have 29 points in that game, though. They did still have Russell then, though, guys. I sense a little different, something different from the Wolves. This team is excited. They're glad that they have a pass first point guard now. And when I'm listening to the post game interview right before the show, man, you see a big smile on Chris Finch's face, man. He just feels like this team is actually like going in the right direction now that they've traded Russell. He kind of said in the interview as well, the ball is moving around a lot more post trade. He's not really throwing Russell on the bench under the bus. He kind of just saying that the ball moves a lot better now that we have a pass first point guard in Mike Conley as opposed to a shooting first point guard versus Russell. He said everybody's eating. Jalen McDaniel's going to get more points. Rudy Gobert already has plenty of chemistry with Mike Conley. You see Gobert getting good 3 like pocket passes last game with the lobs or whatever. I like the direction that the Wolves are going. This is somewhat of a must-win game for the Wolves. If you look at their schedule after All-Star break, it is really tough, guys. I think the Wolves might have one of the worst, one of the hardest remaining schedules after the All-Star break. This is first game home off a 4-game road trip, but they did have 2 days off. The Wolves did, so it's not necessarily the same. I think the Wolves get the job done. I know the Wizards have won 3 out of the last 4. They came out there smacking up the Blazers, but this isn't the Blazers. The Wolves actually have interior defense. You can't just drive to the paint every single time. I know Anthony Simons got hurt in that game as well. Third game in 4 nights, all on the road for the Wizards. They're ready to get back home. I like the Wolves in this one, guys. Obviously, Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson are not ruled in yet. They could possibly be out in this one, man. I want to wait for them, but I'll be honest, man. If you could get that 2.5 with the Wolves, I fully believe they get it done here. I like the Wolves in this game here, Ronald. Should we take the Wolves right now? -2.5, -3.
I would say, yeah, and also low key, one of the key comments that you made during your breakdown that I didn't really think about until you said it was the fact that Conley and Gobert has already some chemistry there, and
Yes,
you could see in his numbers as well, Gobert feeling comfortable himself, just being able to get in the right positions, knowing when Conley's gonna get on the ball. That makes hella sense, and that might be a situation where the Wolves might be a play on team moving forward, just because of that chemistry there. Also, and Edwards no longer has to be that guy that has to sort of score like off, he can score off ball basically. Like he can move around and get in positions to where he can be comfortable, and Conley will get him there instead of having to try and score with the ball in his hands off the bat. I think that's going to help a lot for this Wolves team here. And then when Cat comes back too, man, him in the corner 3, oh boy, that's gonna be
a fact.
yeah. That's
You know what I want to do? Oh, I want to howl with them Wolves, man. This is a major revenge spot, in my opinion. They were never in their game, man. There was a scheduled spot, scheduled loss for the Wolves. They getting some revenge tonight, man. Only thing they hadn't really been putting together back-to-back good performances. It's been win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. But this is one where I think the Wolves take this game serious, especially where they got smacked the last time around. The Wizards, I can't say that they can match up well when it comes to Porzingis, Gafford, and Kuzma here, but I don't care. I think the Wolves are the better overall team, especially when it comes to the bench play as well. I think they have a ton of more scoring options here because the Wizards are somewhat kind of top heavy with Beal, Kuzma, and Porzingis scoring all the points. The rest of the team really doesn't even get in double digits there. So you're going to have Gobert that can run Rover down low, whatever. You have Naz Reid that can match up with Porzingis on the outside. You got they got a ton of guys. Jaden McDaniels, man, Noah coming out the bench. Yeah. They got some defenders over there, man. I like the Wolves in this game. Minus 2.5. Just sprinkle for me, but I like the Wolves in this one. I took some on the minus 2.5. I still like the 3, man. I'm howling with the Wolves today, man. I got to go with my spots. And this is a spot that tells me that the Wolves beat the Wizards after losing 6 straight to them earlier this year. They never had a chance. Now the scheduled spot kind of sets up for them here, especially with the 2 days rest. They have a ton of confidence right now. Give me the Wolves in this one, man. If you don't like it, you ain't got to take it, my guys. Last game up here, Ronald. Yeah, I just want to ask, are you taking Wolves with me, Ronald?
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna be on it. The other thing too, I do want to look at the team total over as well, because Wizards haven't been playing really any defense right now. So even the Wolves really haven't either, and that's why I was looking towards the over. But maybe a look towards that team total over as well. I might split the units on that.
Yeah, I like that. Let me see what is that the team total over, because that's Cav. We like the over, then I definitely like the Wolves team total over. They're the ones that's gonna push over, in my opinion. It said 119. It's high for a reason though. The Wizards aren't the greatest defensive team, man. Wolves, they putting up $125 on their ass tonight.
Yeah, and I already gave out the stats. I mean, I'm the numbers that I'm seeing is between 121 and 126, and that's well above the team total. So I would be able to. I would do that. I would probably split my units between the Wizards. The Wolves and the team total over.
No, that's a fact right there. And I got the OG shirt on today as well, my guys. I've had this shirt for about 12 years here, Ronald. I had the yellow one on yesterday. It brought us some luck with the Pacers, and that one, you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it going.
Them Hornets hit yesterday.
Yeah, they did. That was a nice call. Let's go over here to the streets of Phoenix here, guys. We got the Suns laying a point here at the house versus the LA Clippers here, Ronald.
Yeah, this one here, I couldn't get there on the side on any. I mean, for either the Clippers or the Suns here, but I did like a look on the under. A lot of things pointing towards the under here. Clippers coming after that 10-point win over the Warriors. The road game following 3 straight home games as well. They've allowed 5 straight opponents to go over their team total, but I think this is a spot here where the Suns are gonna come down a little bit. They've won 5 of their last 6. The Suns have. Second home game in a row, kept opponents under their team total in 5 of the last 6. So their defense is playing well right now. I just feel like offensively, even though they've been winning their games, they're still not that great offensively. They haven't clicked together to the point where I can trust them to put up a bunch of points. So that's why I was looking towards the under, and some of the trends and angles that I was looking at as well. Clippers 5-1 to the under in that revenge angle when they're the dog. Total combined score 219.3. I think the total. What's the total tonight? It's at 220. Oh shoot, I just saw it at 223. Now it's down to 221.5. So it's moved a 1.5 since we even started the show. The Suns here on that side 5-1 to the under when they're playing their second game in a row at home, and they're facing a conference team with a winning record. So their defense starts to show up against these top tier teams here, especially at home in these spots. Suns with Booker in the lineup, there was a lot of situations where they were home favorites even when Booker was out. But I looked at specifically when Booker is in. At home as favorites, they're 10-6 to the under, and I looked at games where there were comparable totals. So I looked at totals under 225 or less to get a comparable total. 4-0 to the under in those games. None of those games reached 215, and we know that the Clippers, their offense too, they've been struggling for a while here. They did pick up some guys who could put the ball in the who can score off the bench. I just don't know if that chemistry is there yet to be able to get that done. So to me, I can only look towards the under. I wish I did take it before the show, because right now I'm seeing 221.5.
Now that's a fact right there. It's a few 222s out there, but it's definitely got hit because it was basically all 222s before the show started to hit down to 221. I don't really care about the side, man. It should be a defensive game, but that's a good point in the chat, man. I was thinking about that same thing earlier this morning. I think this is where the Suns are going to miss Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. Did Mikal Bridges for sure, because he was going to be on Kawhi Leonard or Paul George basically the whole night in this one. So the Suns definitely downgraded, in my opinion, a tad defensively to get a lot better offensively. And guess what? The Clippers have their guys playing right now. Now I know Norman Powell's out. That's not going to be good, but the Clippers at least have their guys, their trade acquisitions playing off the bench. The Suns still don't have their big guy. This is a huge spot for the Clippers, in my opinion, to try to get a win. These two teams have the same record, but look at this. Obviously, you're interdivisional rivals, so it's not even just conference. They're in the same division as well, guys. So it's going to be a tight race for this division. Kings, Suns. Well, I don't think the Kings will be in it, but Suns, Clippers, and Warriors. I think it's between the Suns and Clippers, though, in my opinion. The Clippers, though, have already lost 2 meetings versus the Suns already this year, Ronald. So if they want any chance of trying to even it up, first off, you got to win this game, and you have to win the next one just so you guys can be tied there. So the Suns have won both already this year in LA. I have a feeling that it's going to flip here today, that the Clippers are going to probably win the last 2 in Phoenix, especially this one before KD is out there. Like I say, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson would be the prime defenders on Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in this game. If you saw last game, Kawhi is cooking. He got the hat on. You see what I'm saying? I know they kind of talking about some little minutes restrictions, but I hadn't really seen major minutes restrictions, in my opinion, for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard played 35 minutes last game. Paul George plays 32. That's enough for me, man. Give me 35 minutes of Paul George and Kawhi in this one. And I think the Clippers get the win. This is a game, in my opinion, where the Suns, they could sit on the Kings. They're, you know what I'm saying? But this is one where the Clippers are more in their weight class, in my opinion. And I think that they have the advantage here today. Obviously, you want to get this win before KD comes back over there. I like the Clips in this one here, Ronald. I might not be able to make it to go get a haircut, but this is a snip them up type of day. And this, I think the Clippers can match up really well, at least with this version of the Suns. I know Devin Booker, he didn't break the record yet, guys. He didn't even attempt a single 3 in the last game. It was pretty crazy. I don't know if I want to hop on Devin Booker threes, man, but it should get there. But obviously, you're going to need him to attempt some. But I don't care what happens with Devin Booker. I think the Clippers get it done in this one, Ronald. Could you talk me out?
I can't. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of support on both sides here. One thing that you got going on for yourself is that they did put up 130 points in the last game, and typically you would think that there would be a letdown spot. But I looked at when they put up 130 in the previous game, and then they're on the road. They're 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. They're doing well in that spot, so it seems like they have momentum on their side. They'll be able to take care of business here. Just a couple of things to note. Another reason why I like the under is you mentioned that this is a playoff atmosphere type game here. And typically when we have those type of games, they're really defensive minded games, right? They're playing chess, right? In these playoff atmosphere type games. And they typically go under as well. And that's another reason why I like the under.
Yeah, no, that's a fact right there. Yeah, hey, I couldn't talk you off the under. It's definitely going in the right pace. The Suns' last 3 games have went under, and 5 of their last 6. We know Chris Paul is really going to slow the pace down in this one, my guy. So couldn't talk you off that under there. I think I got to hop on the Clips in that one, guys.
Did you hear about Westbrook?
Now I know that he's trying to go to the Clippers, but I don't really care. I don't care, Ronald. I don't be caring about all that outside shit, man. I'm caring about who's playing today. If he goes over there, then I'll start capping it then. But as for right now, I do think he'll help the Clippers out, but he's not on there yet, so I don't care, to be honest with you, Ron. I'm all about what's happening today. I'm all about trying to cash today. You see what I'm saying? But let's get out of here, man. Let's talk about some free picks as well, guys. Still got shirts as well. I know I haven't really been mentioning, but we still have 50% off shirts over there at the site if you like. But Ronald, let the people know what you got going over there at Sports Memo. No, you're doing college basketball. You do NBA over there, and you'll have plenty of baseball as well. Let people know what you got going over at Sports Memo, my brother.
Yeah, man. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm actually number 1 in the leaderboard over at sportsmemo.com since the calendar year 2023 started. Really, it's because of a lot of different sports. You touched on it. I do college basketball, NBA, MMA. I do soccer as well. You talked about my Let's Cap show, but I also have a UFC show with my guys, Pat and Harry. We just had a UFC fighter on our show yesterday who's actually going to be in the corner of one of the fighters this weekend. And so we got some good inside info right there to be able to help us out, make some decisions on some bets there. So that was pretty dope. And but as far as on the premium side, I'm probably going to give out my plays today. I do like the Wolves today, right? That's going to be a premium play. I do like the Bulls as well. I did take it earlier. I'm not as confident with the +6.5 if it's there now, but in that case, if you guys don't like the 6.5, I would say maybe look towards the Bucks team total under. I do think that their offense is going to struggle after OT game, and it has shown in previous trends as well. I would lean towards the under on the Clippers and the Suns, but I mean, I don't know. I might get there, but I lean that way strongly. As far as the UFC goes, look for Nazim Sadikov to get that win on Saturday, and that's the one that our guy
What's it
Matt
priced at,
Favola.
Ronald? What is
What
it
was that?
priced at? What is it priced at?
I believe he's at plus money right now.
Oh shit, I'll ride with you. I ain't betting no UFC no minus 160, no shit higher
Actually,
than minus
sorry, my bad.
200.
It's down. He was at like man, I gotta look at this. I'm pretty sure we got plus money yesterday because we have some insight on why we think he might get the knockout within the distance. So within the if you look at him as inside the distance, it's definitely around plus 200.
Got you. Yeah. If I can get something anything plus or even up to like minus 120, I'll ride with you. I just want to say I'm not playing nothing minus 200, even if it's a lot.
The main event, Andrade versus Blanchfield. We got plus money on Blanchfield as well.
We're gonna have to send them shits to me, man, right after. Put them in the chat. Because we trying to cash with you, man. Shit, put them shits in the chat. Cause I don't know who the hell you talking about. I've never I've never watched the UFC fight like ever. It's just not my.
You're gonna want to, bro. We're up. We're actually up a lot on our show. What we do on our UFC show, we have a built-in tracker with one of the websites, FightOdds.io. So it's been tracking our bets. We are 7-5-1, but most of our bets are plus money. So our average odds is plus 191, and that's the reason why we're up a good chunk of money right now.
Yeah, man, post them shits in the chat, man. We all trying to cash with you. They asking for it in the chat, man. But for me, what I'm looking at today, guys, with significance, it's only 3 sides that I could play today. There would be Bucks, there would be Wolves, and there would be the Clippers, man. So unfortunately, 2 of them are road teams, but I do think that like the teams don't forget about revenge. You can downgrade it all you want. These motherfuckers, every single one of those teams are in revenge today, guys. So I know for a fact though, I'm probably betting Wolves and the Clippers here today. I think that's 2-0, one time for the one time. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it. I always say, guys, go with what you know. Go with your gut as well, man. We're not pressing a button for you. You see what I'm saying? You got it's your money that you're betting with. I know it's my money that I'm betting with, guys, but I'll be looking at a heavy lean to the Bucks and that one early and often, and a lean heavy enough for me to put my money on is Wolves, man. Minus 2.5 threes. I still like it. Clippers as well, man. I'll line myself up one time for the one time. Got the shirt on, man. We got the chains on. We got our guy Ronald here with us, guys. It's always Us Against the Bookies. See what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's get some cash. We will get some cash and we will win, man. Go check out the website if you'd like to get a shirt, jmoneyismoney.com. Go check out my guy Ronald as well, Sports Memo on YouTube. On Twitter as well, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you really do like the show, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the show, and also hit that join button as well, man. Join the channel, man. We out. Let's get this cash, guys. Let's fucking go. Y'all have a good one.